Good evening, good afternoon, good night, hello. It's me back again with what I think is the ultimate handheld. This is the Nvidia Shield from Nvidia, surprise surprise, and I recently picked it up from America. Nvidia had a special offer where they were selling them for $199, and I managed to snag one and get it shipped through a kind of a forwarding mail service from the States over to Dublin, Ireland. So I've had plenty of experience with different handhelds, and I guess I've got kind of the current crop generation of the Vita there and the 3DS XL, and of course I've got my Game Boys, my PC Engine GTs, my Sega Nomads, Game Gears, Atari Lynxes, all that sort of stuff. And this is a little video about this particular machine because I think it is fantastic. I don't think it gets rated too good online, but it is. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've been able to do with it that I think would make it worthwhile. So please bear with me if I sound a bit jaded with this video. It's like the third or fourth time I've tried it, and this is like the second camera I'm using, so here we go again. So the Nvidia Shield, it's basically the size of an Xbox 360 joypad, if I have one, happen to have one here. You can kind of get the idea. Similar layout. It's kind of has the PS layout with the thumbsticks down near the middle, as opposed to, I guess, non-symmetrical. The machine runs on Android on a Tegra 4 processor, which is a kind of it's an Nvidia chip. You can see the buttons here, so your usual thumbsticks and clicky D-pad. The D-pad is actually quite nice. I'm never one of these people who find problems with the D-pads anyway, but then you've got your narrow buttons. I'm actually hitting stuff on screen here. You've got your volume button, which if you press it you can use your, I'll show you those buttons at the back in a sec. This is the kind of the Nvidia, let's see, it's the kind of the Nvidia main button to bring into the game, so we'll get to that. Then there's your usual Android buttons, back button, task manager I think, and this kind of a start button. On the back, oh yeah, so that's basically an intake for cold air, and on the back we've got HDMI mini or micro, I'm not sure which it's called. There's a little SD card slot for an MMC, or SD card for a really small memory card. You've got your USB charge port, which you can put a Y cable on it, so you can actually have a charging and an additional USB accessory, or even a hub. So that'll be, I don't know, Xbox 360 wired controller or a 1 gig network card. You've got your audio and microphone here, and you've got your trigger buttons, so pretty cool. Now the kind of the main thing of the Shield, and I have my PC on behind me here. Ideally the whole point of this is that if you have an Nvidia graphics card, a decent one, I think from 600 series onwards, you can play your PC games on your Shield. So for instance, if I fire up blah 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 Borderlands, and I'll just point out it's actually quite loud, so let's just give it a bit of volume. I've been mucking about with Borderlands today as well, so I'll try and get the two in the picture at the same time so you can see the latency. Perhaps if I do this, that's my PC screen, and what we'll do is, yeah, hello. Okay. Hopefully it'll focus on the Shield as opposed to the PC. I'll start this up. Oh, this is awkward leaning over this. So I guess you can see the thing in the background moving at the same time. I'm on a 5 GHz wireless connection here, so it works a lot better if you're closer to the router. I'm 2 rooms away, so it's not as good as it can be. You've got your usual Android, oh yeah, and it's touchscreen, your Android stuff, so I can actually brighten up the screen, make it a bit actually worse to see. Let's bring it back. Fire up the game. Now, I'm sure the camera's going to pick up some latency, but I'm telling you now, with your own eyesight, you're not going to see anything. And I'm just firing the trigger there for effect. So what's noting here is that your PC has to be on when you're doing this. So that can be a drawback if you have other people who want to use your PC. In my case, no one's allowed to touch it. So that's PC games. Now I could probably go on and show you the hundreds of Steam games that I own, but I think that would be particularly boring. I'll just quit that, and you can see in the background the PC then just goes back to where it was. This will just switch back to my desktop. I have two screens, aren't I posh? Yeah, it goes back to my desktop. So what else can it do? Well, it can do what most Android machines can do, or tablets and all that sort of jazz. With, let me see, where are we now? I'm not a big fan of the Android operating system, I have to say. I use an iPhone. But anyway, there's Steam, there's TeamSpeak. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit more now. Try and get it as straight as I can. So OpenVPN, so you can, it has its own, what is it, a PPTP VPN, so you can actually, if you're at home, sorry, when I say home, when you're at your family, or if you're off in work, naughty, you can VPN in if you've wireless access, and then you can actually access your whole network here, including your PC games. So I've only tinkered with that a little bit. I've done streaming of videos off my network, and that's been fantastic. The obvious clients, you get your Netflix, whoopity-doo-dah. You also get Steam and TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak works fantastic if you're going to play in your PC games and you want to still talk to the lads. The thing about the Nvidia Shield is its ability to be a decent controller for anything that runs on Android. Now, you obviously can get your emulators. So let's take, for instance, do you want to restore a game? No, let's go to the GUI. So this is PlayStation 1, and I just grabbed Raiden and Raiden DX. And just to give you an idea how loud these bloody things are. Let's fire up Raiden. Ironically, you could actually, there's a Bluetooth controller, a legit one you can buy, and then you can have two player on the one screen. Or you can root the device, hang on, very loud. You can root the device and you can basically play with a PS3 joypad, you know, over Bluetooth. And where that comes into its own is when you connect this up to your TV, you get 1080p, PS3 joypad, and then you basically have a portable, I guess, terminal. So you have your PC on, you've got your main games, all you can play on the TV inside. Unless your daughter is watching Shrek for the 400th time. So that's a no-no. So let's take Raiden 2. And this is obviously a PlayStation 3. Up the top right, I don't know if you can see it there, it's frame rates, so 60. Let's give it a bit more volume. It's a really loud device. That's probably too loud. Let's bring that back a bit. So I'll give this a quick go. So there's no shortage of emulators out there for whatever you want to play, whatever tickles your fancy. Obviously shmups would be my main, you know, favorite genre for old school games. And it's no big thing that, you know, an Android device is playing an emulator. So what I think is just fits it so nice together is that you have a controller ready to go, with your screen ready to go, and if you fancy you can plug it into a TV and away you go. That's a lot of goes. Just to give you an idea how optimal this device is, so I'll just hit the home button there and we'll go into Xbox Media Center. Now Xbox Media Center, again, everybody has this or knows of it. And what I've got is slightly different here on the network. I have a Raspberry Pi, which you might have seen in my other videos, running a TV tuner for SareView. That's Irish for Freeview, and I think something similar exists in the UK. So it's a dvb-t USB stick, and it's picking up, you know, Irish terrestrial TV. And of course, Friends is always bloody on. Oh, joyfully it's not. Let's see any sound.
Into producing the newspaper.
Yeah, so this is TV, Irish TV. Amazing. Oh look, we just watch English TV really. Britain's Got Talent. I don't know how this stuff is still on TV at this stage. And then we have our RT News Now, which is basically like a 24/7 news channel, because there's so much bad news in this country.
We've one step, these elections, the local
It also gives you radio, so that there's like radio stations that are broadcast over it. Let's see, is there anything? We gotta blast the audio. So this isn't anything special. This is basically any device that runs XBMC in my home now can access this service. I also have my videos. You know, everybody has their backups of their movies, so you can watch them on this really easily. And another kind of strange feature is you can actually access the programs that are installed. So it's like Inception. So for instance, there's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and fire that up within Android, but XBMC is still running in the background, confusing the shit out of the program. Let's go offline for this. Resume. I think I might have to do a task manager here because we don't want that. I think it almost sounds like BT or Coldplay in the background. Skip that. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got my apps that are running. So let's take him away and him away, and we can switch between US run restore the game. Kind of see the power of the Tegra 4 processor here. It's excellent. And let's switch back and boom, back into, I don't know, where are we? Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, this guy. Resume. And then away you go. This is the Android port of Grand Theft Auto. Ironically, you could just go and get PlayStation 2 version and play it. Or the PS Vita. Be careful with my copyright in the music there. So what else? That was just my first jump cut. So let's have a quick check on Steam Big Picture. So this is one of the final things I just wanted to show you, is that these are the games that are covered under Nvidia Shield's ability. However, you can fire up any game that you have added to Steam. So for instance, if you added remote desktop to Steam, you can have remote desktop to your machine or whatever. So that's just a quick show of the big picture mode. So go into my library and you'll see that some of these games aren't exactly listed on the previous screen, but this is big picture and I can pretty much play any of these with you know, if it's got joystick support, it'll obviously be a more enjoyable experience. Now you can do a thing. If I hold down this button here, I can have a virtual mouse which controls the thumbstick, but let's be honest, you're only really going to use that to get yourself out of trouble where a menu needs to be controlled with a mouse. So I don't know, I'm trying to think of something else that would kind of give you a good example of what this little bad boy can do. So many ridiculous games. I blame the humble bundles. Gianna Sisters. It's actually, does anybody remember getting that on their Commodore 64 way back in the day? Illegally, if I remember correctly. Great music though. And even with this version as well, has excellent music. Let's skip all this. Oh, it looks like I'm running out of battery. Let's hopefully get to see something here. Play. Just do it. Just do it. Less than 1 minute of memory left actually, not battery. This could all end abruptly. I think we get the idea. Let's see the change between the sisters. The music changes in the background. Pretty cool. Oh, she's dead. Anyway, folks, like, love, favorite, love, yeah, add some love, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching.